I'm soaring, friends. I am Vitaly Portnikov. The Russians here dreamed of attacking the Dnieper and Kharkov in broad daylight. The attack of drones has already produced up to fires near the Dnieper. It's time for accurate information to be known. The footage takes place from a Ukrainian place just like that. And before the speech, these shots are being guessed, and all of us have been bashing the rest of the mass attacks on Kiev. Russian strikes were literally put on ruins on Kiev-Borshagov. The same thing about the Dnieper. A blow to the center of the place, actually calling to ruin. And about the fact that the Russian windy terror is not Tilky. Continue. It is noticeable that the Russians are acting their attacks on Ukrainian places synchronously with the speeches of American President Donald Trump. Trump speaks more loudly about us through force, and Putin sending his missiles and drones in order to terrorize Ukrainians and the ruins of their places. Sim is an escalation of the word, a kind of escalation of force. The sim cuts into Trump's political pit view of Putin's political arrival. Both the American president and mere plans, and the Nobel Prize-worthy guide of those who are fighting both with the mayor and the international. Thinks not about plans, but prody. And from the point of view of Putin's logic, you absolutely do not cut into his logic. The pockets in the terrorist organization Hamas and the logic Okilniki in the terrorist organization Hamas do not make the kind of logic difficult for Iran, but for Bir Korea. And it is extremely convenient for everyone to mate on the right with such an American president. I love Guchny, Pramav and Obityanka, but there is nothing concrete to demonstrate my strength to the dictatorial regime and to those who believe that they can get terror with diligent results. It is known that the attack on the Dnieper is not a Persia, an attack on a Ukrainian place, and we have also notified that Putin is not going to engage in windy terror. And the confrontation did not continue during the offensive period of Russian-Ukrainian guilt. TPR drones arrive in Ukrainian places literally from broad daylight. And it's not so easy to fight it. And the torture before the yak to organize against the windy defense of Ukraine itself. The Ukrainian waving of the temples at Poland and Denmark to fight Russian drones proves that we are effectively Ukrainian places. And absolutely logical torture, with what rank of protest today, and with skin. I will hold a reference wall against the Tilka on the cordon of the European Union and NATO from Ukraine and the Russian Federation, and on myself on the Ukrainian cordon with Russia and the occupied Ukrainian territories. Yaki Moscow pretended to be a springboard for further attack on our Ukraine. It is also symbolic that Russia has hindered a new Pidla attack on Ukrainian places. I was just on that day of Kola in Moscow on Christmas Eve and the day of aggression and occupation. The decision about the annexation of the Ukrainian territories is being praised by Russia, even with the extorted view of an international Spivtovarist and the view of the Ukrainian withdrawal of Ukrainian troops. For those territories of the Dachina, Luhansk, Kherson region and for Paris and is controlled by the legitimate Ukrainian Vlad, and not by the brutal occupation regime. So wrapped up in a wagon that the promove of Russian President Putin until the day. On the Tilka about the righteous guilt of Russia against our Ukraine. About sodium at Odesky of the Nikolaev area's bags from Putin's point of view. Tesh Pragnat to the Russian Federation. And it is extremely not about our yaks that Putin absolutely leaked, yak and the authorities. And about the Kremlin's plans for Novikov, about the occupation plans, about the regions, Yaki Putin would like to get to Russia by the next hour. And again, and over that hour. The president with the staff received in Raspovidaya about mere plans, and about the oysters of the presidents of Ukraine and Russia. The president of the Russian Federation. With the occupation of new Ukrainian regions, a new round of Russian-Ukrainian confrontation has baked in. So without reference forces in the chair, not without reason, but without reference forces. The terror of Russia against peaceful Ukrainian places is gaining momentum. Putin is absolutely in the ruins of Ukraine on the screen with Ukrainians still tilky full surrender to Moscow. There may be a way out for them for those guilt. He wants us to forget about the power before the destruction of Ukraine like this. Normal human beings throughout the territory of the state, as Putin would like to travel to the imperious Ukraine. It does not matter to him at all that the skin territory is not my fault, and for him the springboard for further occupation is turned off. And then, for the fact that the plaques of Europe, I, from Putin's point of view, pretend to be the same on his sphere. I will swim in already the worst, and respecting for Russia that he killed the house of whom. Donald Trump. And to bathe European leaders, of course, yak to see on, and it is revealed that there is still a united Ukraine. And a piece of information and all the depth, the layout and today, and the suite is overstated tilky. Ukraine has already fallen before the Russian strikes. I'll swear my jaw to those who suffered in the uprising of the Russian attacks, their relatives and friends. Dyakuyu. Subscribe to my channel, and we will continue to stitch with you in Russian-Ukrainian Vienna.